Andrew, the PCA CBD vacancy figures recently released as at 1 July 2011 came out at 7.8%. Is this a true reflection of the vacancy in the CBD?
I think the short answer to that is no. What we've seen in that figure is some buildings which have recently been completed, such as 167 St George's Terrace and 140 William Street, which are counted as fully vacant, but they have been leased. It's just that the tenants haven't moved in yet. And in fact, what we're seeing in the market, particularly at the larger end, plus 700 square metres, a shortage of space currently, and we're seeing quite a few examples of competing offers from tenants on some of these tenancies. So the reality of the market is quite different from those PCA figures.
With the backfill space entering the market next year, how much do you anticipate coming on, and how long will that backfill supply last?
Yeah, there's two major backfill vacancies next year. BHP, who are moving into City Square, 60,000 square metres, and Bank West, who are going to Rain Square. With BHP, that's the big variable at the moment. We expect them to retain 18,000 square metres in Central Park, and possibly they could also retain 15,000 square metres at 225 St George's Terrace, although we're not quite sure with that at the moment. Bank West, we're definitely going to get 20 to 25,000 square metres at 108 St George's Terrace, although already some of that has been leased. The other major supply for next year is Governor Stirling Tower, where that's a 25,000 square metre building refurbishment over about 12 months. There's already been one commitment there for 5,000 square metres. So the short answer is yes, there is quite a significant amount of backfill and refurbished supply coming on next year, but we think it's actually going to be less than most people are thinking, and with current net absorption rates, really this should last around about 9 to 10 months at this stage.
Andrew, with future supply past 2012, which buildings do you think will actually proceed?
Yeah, I think at this stage definitely City Square 2. That's a Brookfield-owned property. I think they'll either build that on a speculative basis or achieved pre-commitments. The other interesting thing is how many other new buildings we're going to get. At this stage, we're seeing tenants coming into the market for pre-commitments, and for these other buildings, that's what's needed. So we could see one or possibly two further buildings, and I think the market can handle that quite easily. But certainly that's a big question mark for the future.
We've talked about vacancy and future supply, but how do you think this will translate into rental rates for the next 3 to 4 years?
We've already started to see rental rates increase in the last 5 to 6 months. I can see that carrying on into 2012 with more modest growth because of that backfill supply we've talked about. And in 2013 and 14, I see that as a strongly owner-advantaged market, and I think we'll see some good rental growth from the owner's point of view during that time. It won't be as strong as the mining boom Mark I, when we saw rent increases of 50 to 70% in 1 year, but I think we'll see double-digit rental growth at that time.
Looking outside the CBD, Andrew, to the suburban markets, what do you see occurring there for the next couple of years, in particular with new supply?
Yeah, the suburbs are moving forward now very strongly. We look at somewhere like West Perth, which is our major suburban market. We've seen the rents increase there significantly this year. 2 Kings Park Road is a great example. The rent at the end of last year for that building was around $4.95 a metre, and we're now seeing that push towards $5.75, $5.95 a square metre. That's a significant increase in the last 10 months. On the back of that now, we're seeing some speculative development in West Perth. We've probably got around 4 to 5 new buildings which are either under construction now or will start very shortly. And the market can handle that. These buildings are generally only 4,000 to 5,000 square metres each. And I think in the suburbs we can also see some of that happen again, although at this stage there's pretty limited speculative new build in those markets.